Hello everyone, welcome to my very first YouTube channel, The Noob Code. My name is Abhishek and I'm a full stack web developer, and it's been roughly 6 years since I have been developing web applications. So this channel, it is a medium to share my knowledge with you and everyone else on the internet. Here we'll be designing and implementing some really cool UI components and interfaces that we see in our day-to-day web applications. So yeah, pretty much what we see on a website, we'll try and build it here. I also plan to start a CSS tutorial soon, right from the ground level to have all the basic concepts clear for you. Anyways, for our pilot video, we'll be starting with something very small but very common. We'll be building a reusable custom web tooltip primarily using CSS. Here I have a decent UI. When we hover on this button, we see a pop-up that shows and it contains some additional information about this button. This is the tooltip that we'll be building. So without wasting much time, let's deep dive straight into our code. I'm using VS Code as my code editor. You may use any editor of your choice. I have already prepared everything in the UI. In order to prevent a long video, we will be only be focusing on creating the tooltip here. So let's create our tooltip element first. Click to read more. Yep, the text seems fine. Let's create some classes. One class we will be creating for our element on which we want to show the tooltip, the other for the tooltip element itself. So tooltip holder and then tooltip. These seem meaningful names. You can use any name of your choices. Now, since our tooltip will have an absolute position and our tooltip holder needs to have a relative position. So let's set that. Setting my tooltip to an absolute position. Yep. Now let's set our background color and our text color for our tooltip. I'm using black and white. You can use any color choices as per your preferences. Now we want our tooltip to always appear on the top of the tooltip holder. So we'll use a bottom of 100% and we'll also give a margin bottom small so it just stays a bit above. Then we will horizontally align our tooltip in the middle of the holder. Therefore, we'll use the left 50% and we will use translate of minus 50%. Now translate the property of transform. Now we'll set a minimum width for our tooltip. So with 100 pixels seems fine. Yep. Now let's put some padding as well. Small padding for our tooltip. Okay. Let's quickly take a look. Let's see how it looks like. Yep. Looks fine to me. Okay. Let's go back. So now we will create our down arrow on our tooltip, which we saw earlier. So for this, we will be using a pseudo element selector. Now a pseudo element needs to have a content. Without this, the pseudo element will never exist. For our, we'll set the content as empty. We will also use absolute positioning on our pseudo element as well. So position absolute is there. Now we'll align it in the middle of our tooltip. So we'll use the copy and paste the same thing, left and transform, translate 50, minus 50%. And now we need to create the triangle shape. So for that, we'll be using border and the border color properties. So I'm setting a border of a particular width, let's say 1 pixel and solid, and we'll set the border color. Now we will set only the top border color and the left, right and bottom we'll set it as transparent. So this way we will have a downward pointing arrow. Yeah, one more thing. We need to add our 100% top so that the arrow stays right below our tooltip. Let's increase the border width to a bit. Yep. Looks perfect to me. So yeah, we have a tooltip. Now we only need to toggle the display on the hovering of our tooltip holder. So by default, our tooltip display will set as none. And when we hover on our tooltip holder, tooltip holder, colon hover. So on the hover of my tooltip holder, I will apply some CSS on my tooltip class, which will be display block. So let's check. Yep, it's gone. I'm hovering. It comes. Yep, lovely. We've built our tooltip. Here we have it. Now let's try and use this tooltip since it is a reusable. We'll use it for our paragraph as well. So the process is same. We'll use the tooltip holder class on our element on which we want to create a tooltip. So the class on my paragraph, and we will also need to put our tooltip element inside the particular paragraph. So yep, let's change the text a bit. This is the paragraph. Let's see. Yep, it works and it works here as well. Great. So here we have created our custom tooltip. Now I will have the code of my GitHub repository in the description below so that you can clone the repository and use all the CSS over there for your help. I would suggest to first try the CSS on your own and only use the code for your reference. So anyways, here we come to the end of our first video. I hope you liked it and it did help you as well. Please like, share and comment to give your valuable feedback. Also let me know what next would you like us to build. To be notified of my upcoming videos, please subscribe the channel.